So I think the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to be hostile towards the lone quiet. So I just went all the way back to the narrator, and I'm basically going to tell him, like, I'm going to do it. Rest easy. I'm going to destroy her.
Are you lying? I can't tell. But I've said my piece, and my time's up. It's like I said, I'm just an echo, and echoes always fade away. You know what you have to do.
Slay the princess.
Violence has always been our language, hasn't it? If this is what it takes to save you, then so be it. A thought is a vine, and some thoughts nurture thorns that bleed the soul, and endless growth that blots your vision and strangles your trust. When I succumbed to myself, you patiently stood by me and cut the thistles that rooted in my skin. Your compassion is what freed us both, but compassion is a thing that must be nurtured, and you cannot nurture that which cannot change.
I won't engage with violence.
But violence has defined the flow of everything between us. Do not deny what we are, and do not color our conflict with fear.
A boundless torrent of blades cut you from boundless angles. You are a body. You are gory ribbons. You are a body again. And you feel all of it. On and on it goes until your bodies are not your thoughts, are not you. Alive, dead, alive, dead, alive, dead, then alive and dead, and alive and dead, all at once. You learn to put yourself away, and in your stillness you rose above me. You died countless steely deaths, and you lived countless short lives, and yet it is all so far behind you. I pushed you to a greatness you never would have reached without me.
Continue to reject her perspective. It doesn't matter how I feel death suffering, and oblivion shouldn't fall on others. If we are able to transcend death, then we are responsible for those it holds captive.
Their suffering is born of their own delusion.
That's a wild sentence. Their suffering is born of their own delusion.
A picture of a life, and a picture of a life, and a picture of a life. How deep must repetition still our movements, until even the air we breathe is stale? You doused the flames of false devotion, and in my despair you lifted my chin, and the two of us danced beneath the stars. But the stars can't be seen unless the flames go out and the walls come crashing down. Can you not do for all things what you did for us?
Suffering born in delusion is still suffering. It doesn't matter what we are now. We hurt each other, and we shouldn't have done that. We cannot let a world be spun out of that pain.
The echo saw horrors because his eyes were closed. The majesty of being extends beyond any single perspective.
What once was one, then was two, and then was one again. You gave me shelter when you burned mine down, and then you struck another match. I pulled you from the ruins, and then we built a life. What once was one, then was one again. The peace didn't last. The worm in your heart came for us. It took you from me, and I took you back. What once was one, then was two, then was one again. You and I are bound together. To rid yourself of me would be to leave yourself forever incomplete.
You reject the suffering of material reality, and yet you cling to its framework for meaning. We can be better than this.
I reject the narrow view of impermanence. I cling to nothing. There is no better us for us to be than us. We are reality itself.
There is no better us for us to be than us. I that's that is beyond my mortal comprehension. I'm not even gonna begin to try to explain that.
Here is a chain around the neck and a needle in the eye. It was fear that made our prison, and it was fear that told the lie that our spirits were not free to choose. But even bound, you saw a light, and you gave me the wisdom to speak my heart and shed my doubts. Without fear, suffering ceases to be. Without fear, death dissolves. Without fear, we are free to choose beauty. This construct is a machine of fear. It has no place in our divine hearts. Shatter it. Leave with me.
I'm having like these different thoughts now, just listening to all of like, the back and forth. And now I'm starting to think, what if both of us leave? I honestly believe if both of us leave, then the world just becomes the world that we are now. Because, I think the only way to make an actual beautiful, utopia, where, there is no more war, there's no more strife, there's always just peace and harmony. If you want that world, that means that you have to get rid of free will. Because as soon as you get rid of free will, then you can make whatever world you want to. Because you just be like, you follow these set of rules. But is that really a free and beautiful world if there's no free will? Because if you give the people free will, then that means that they are free to choose violence. They are free to choose bad things. So, I guess it's a have a cake and eat it too moment. So is it really any way that we can make a world without fear? Because like for a second I was thinking okay, maybe if we both leave, then everybody in the world will become enlightened at once or whatever, like we are now, and everyone in the world just chooses to not do that bad. But then I immediately thought, if that is the case, even if that is the case, I don't think it is, her presence as a whole will contradict that, because again, she's change. She is the change in the world that constantly happens. So eventually people will just have that free will of I just want to do something bad today. I just want to rob a bank, or I don't like this person, I'm just going to kill him. That's free will. So the only way to make a peaceful world, is to remove free will. You claim your destruction will steal meaning from existence. But if my actions can make existence worse, then there must be actions that make it better. Perfection implies finality, and nothing is final.
There has never been finality. There is only the unending transformation of my multitudes. But to destroy me is to bring everything to a stop. It is only then that you will have an ending, and that ending is nothingness.
As the clash between you abides, the princess withdraws, trembling.
You are unmovable. Is it by the design of our conflict that I cannot win? Or are you just that fervent in how you cling to delusion? Are you so desperate to destroy me that you've grown blind to the heavenly beauty of our reality? Nothing is immutable. Everything that is exists only in relation to everything it isn't. There is no constant. There is no center. You cannot remove something without removing the relations which define it. To destroy what you perceive as evil is to damn everything you perceive as good.
Hold on. That sentence kind of cooked. To destroy what you perceive as evil is to damn everything you perceive as good. Again, I understand that. I do. If you, it's the whole thing of like, if you get rid of the evil, then how can you judge or weigh something that is good? If you never had nothing that was sour, how can you love something that is sweet?
Open your eyes and accept what we are. We can leave this prison together.
I can't let that happen. I can't let everything die.
Oh, then destroy me if you're able. But I will not coddle you in my final moments. I will not yield to your delusion without a vicious struggle.
You don't have to face her alone.
You have no idea how good it is
It's
to
good
hear
to
you.
be here. Seems like you've been doing all right on your own, but I don't think you can strike a decisive blow from out here. There's still a piece of me nestled close to where it all began. I can take you there. I can take you to her heart.
It's time to resume our dance.
She's relentless, isn't she? Let's make this quick. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Then let's go.
Back to it.
And here we are. I'd say we were back where it all started, but I guess it's a little after that, isn't it? Do you need me to describe things?
No, we're good. I'm gonna go ahead and take the blade.
That's probably for the best. It's always seemed to give us more options than not.
Into the basement.
The stairs. Do you remember the first time we were here? The first time we heard her voice?
We both know why you're here. You don't have to draw it out for my sake.
It sounded just like that. A little sharp, a little menacing. Only she didn't know us. And down we go. We shouldn't keep her waiting.
And there you are, knife in hand. That sight brings me back. You're going to do it then, aren't you? You're really going to kill me. You'll have all of eternity to yourself after this. Why don't we chat a little before I go?
Sure. I don't want to have to slay you, but I don't know what other options there are.
Well, I don't want to be at the end of that knife, so how about we figure something out?
What if we tried doing this forever? I can do whatever you think I can, right? So, make me put it all back. Make me fix the Echo's construct and make me wipe our memories of everything that's happened. Make me send us back to the beginning, before we woke up. Before either of us saw the truth.
Can she really do that? Are you sure that's what you want?
Will resetting it do anything to help them, the people out there? If you continue to exist, don't they continue to die and suffer?
Fixing that is on you, not me. If you want me to help them, you'll have to make me help them.
So basically, if you do go with this, the game just basically loops. It loops. It loops back again. We're going to find ourselves back here eventually.
And if we do, nothing is stopping us from making the same choice. We could just keep doing this forever.
If we're talking about this right now, how do we know we haven't done this before?
Well, I don't think that's something we'll ever get to know. But odds are we've probably done it before.
How do you know that things won't end worse? What if when I make my way back here, I'm different and I hurt you? What if I kill you? What if I let you bring about the end of everything?
Who cares? We've hurt each other plenty and I still like you.
Damn.
And if you're hesitating, then you must still like me, too.
Yeah. God damn it, man. We'd have to decide to do this every single time, forever. Eventually something is going to be different. What if we change our minds?
Well, if we change our minds, we change our minds. What matters is that we'll always have a choice. This is just the one we're making now.
I don't want to forget you.
That's sweet. But unless you do, the whole world ends, right? Not like I care, but it seems important to you.
This isn't fair. I want to be here with you. I don't want to be alone again.
Neither do I. But we won't be alone for long. I'll be right here, waiting for you.
Is there any other way?
You brought that knife down here for a reason. Either you use it to kill me, or I use it to put things back.
I'm gonna go ahead and full on commit to killing the Shifting Mound to try to end it. But I am going to show the agree to her plan thing. But I'm gonna go ahead and do, I'm sorry, but I can't do that. Slay the princess.
You and me both. Whatever world you want to build without me, I hope it works out. Despite our differences, I've always loved you, and I wish you nothing but the best.
I hate that so much. You blink, and the princess is gone. All you have left of her is a small, melancholic weight that sits at the borders of your heart. Whatever action brought you and the princess into being was rough and jagged and left each of you with a piece of the other. By destroying her once and for all, you also destroyed a part of yourself. But the world hasn't ended. Things continue on.
She's gone. And I don't think she's coming back.
I don't fully know. Like it says that she's gone and that you feel like that a part of you is also gone. So I guess with this one you can be like, I mean it's explore, so it's not final. I guess I can explore it. No, she's not. A small part of her is with
Is
us.
that a metaphor, or are you being literal? It doesn't matter, we don't need to linger down here anymore. Let's get going.
Okay, so it's just, I guess it's whatever you want. I guess whatever to make you feel better knowing that you kind of murdered her, but leave the cabin. You leave the basement behind. Then the stairs. And then you leave the cabin itself.
It's quiet here.
The path and the woods outside are empty canvas, but there's even more to see beyond this place. The fruits of your labor, a world free from death. Set yourself free. The body of an ancient creature stirs from its hibernation, and you feel sensation in limbs you once couldn't fathom. Everything here is you. You feel your wings spanning a cosmic scale, but twisted and crumpled and bound in agonizing tension to a finite plane. You can feel the glass of the construct pressing in on you, confining you across infinite sides and infinite angles. You push back and strain against it, but it does not yield.
He's gone. She's gone. No one is left to trap us here but us.
Open your heart and bear witness to your new kingdom. All at once the unyielding tension gives way. And then the shattering. You are free, and before you lies the endless expanse of absolute reality. A new absolute reality, one forged by your will and by a long and arduous cycle of bloodshed that has stained your hands countless times over. But there will be no more bloodshed in this new world.
It's finally over, isn't it? But all of us are still here.
I knew we'd finally see it through. All it takes to be a winner is grit and determination.
We really did win, didn't we?
Everybody's here now.
We're the house now. We get to make the rules. This is nice. No more hunting. No more running. Just us. And whatever's out there.
Absolute reality. Who would have thought there was really a world outside of us? And who would have thought we'd actually wind up siding with him?
The whispering and the coercion and the bickering. Everything
horrible about being alive has stopped. I could get used to this.
That wasn't very hard at all. Speak for yourself.
Well, boys, how does it feel? We're not just on top of the pecking order, we are the pecking order now.
We're on the top of the world.
I hope this was all worth it, because I'm personally inconsolable.
You'll get over it.
Lucky for us, you have forever to get over it.
Exactly.
Time mends a lot of things. You'll get better.
Hear, hear, to our vanquished foe.
It's good to be back. Now we just have to figure out what to do with ourselves. Forever. No problem. We can do that, yeah?
Yeah, we can do that.
And that was that ending. So, basically with that, you built a world with no more pain, no more strife, no more death. But I do like the whole fact of like, now we just gotta figure out what we're gonna do with ourselves forever. So, in turn of killing the princess and getting rid of pain, suffering, and death, we also got rid of change. So the world is just going to be a stagnant world. So eventually, who knows? But I mean, as we can kind of tell, eventually that stagnation is probably going to slowly turn into kind of a hell, because it's just there's nothing new to happen. There's nothing new to stimulate you. So with that ending comes to a close, and I'm gonna go ahead and show the whole looping part as well. Might as well go ahead and show that. Okay, then let's do it. I believe in us.
Okay, if this is your choice, then I have your back. I guess I'll see you on the other side. She takes the blade from our hand, a fondness in her gaze.
I'll see you soon.
Hey, I love you.
Well, I wasn't gonna get mushy, but God damn it. All right.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
The end of the world? What are you talking about? And we loop back here again. Oh, this game is so good. I love it. I'm not going to slay her, and I want you to know that before you die for good.
Well, there's no reasoning with a god, even one you've woven into existence yourself. I've said my piece, and my time is up. It's like I said, I'm just an echo, and echoes always fade away.
I think it's time for us to leave this place, but I don't know how to leave or where to go.
Nothing brings me greater joy than to hear those words. The final piece lies with you.
Free yourself. You fall into yourself. The body of an ancient creature stirs from its hibernation, and you feel sensation in limbs you once couldn't fathom. Everything here, except for her, is you. You feel your wings spanning a cosmic scale, but twisted and crumpled and bound in agonizing tension to a finite plane. You can feel the glass of the construct pressing in on you, confining you across infinite size and infinite angles. You push back and strain against it, but it does not yield.
I love you.
Take her hand. All at once, the unyielding tension breaks. You are free, and she is with you.
It's magnificent.
There are no words, no thoughts to describe absolute reality. Something that simply is. What happens now?
Everything. Just like it always has been. And just like it always will be.
Step into the infinite. You and she step forward into 1,000 dawns and 1,000 sunsets, each of which contains 1,000 more. You exist and you are aware, just as you have always been, and just as you always will be. Though conflict is in your nature, the two of you will never be alone, and the two of you will never know fear. You and she are finally home. So, personally, I feel like that's the more canon ending. At least, there is no canon ending. Whatever ending you want to be is yours and yours alone. But for me, I think that is the more grounded in reality canon ending. Or at least the canon ending that leads to where us as actual people outside of the game is now. Where yes, you as an individual can die. All individuals will eventually die. Your story will eventually come to an end. But what we just stepped into was infinite. It was reality. 1,000 dusks and 1,000 dawns. One story comes to an end, another one starts. And I think that is a perfect kind of metaphor for our life, our reality as it is now, where somebody's dusk has come, somebody else's dawn is now arriving. Somebody's book is closing, somebody's book is opening. That is the constant change. That is the ebb and flow. When something dies, something new comes to life. And I honestly believe that that ending right there is a very hard, grounded to reality ending. And I personally believe that that is my canon ending. I do like the other one though, where you get to just walk away from it all. But I feel like when you have something like this, like the reality itself on your shoulders, because you're basically making a choice for everybody. So yes, you can argue the fact that that ending is you just made a choice for people to have to go through suffering throughout their lives. And then you can go down the whole argument of what type of God would allow regular, normal people to suffer. But I also feel like what type of God is it that takes away people's choice to suffer or to find their way out of suffering? I could be here forever about this. I really can. But I don't think that everybody wants to be here forever of me talking circles. So this is the final part of Slay the Princess. I really wanted to make sure that all of my thoughts was up and out there, you know, not leave anything unwrapped up or anything like that. And so this one is pretty shorter than the other ones because this is just me trying to finish up what part one I couldn't get in or get done. So if you did make it this far, I hope that my yapping made some sense to you, and I hope that you did enjoy kind of my thoughts on it. Because this game, when I first heard about it and I first played it, I enjoyed it so much and I loved every second of it. So I do appreciate you for being here, and thank you for watching. Oh yeah, and I highly recommend playing this game, finding out other princess routes, and doing other endings for yourself. This game is beautiful. I loved it.